Graham, start us with the setup. How you position yourself, where you position yourself, what you watch when the bowler delivers.
Everyone's got their own styles, you see, from batting and bowling. It's the same with slip catching. For me, there were a couple of crucial factors. You know, you want to have nice soft arms, and generally the best way to do that is to bend your knees. You want to have nice bent knees, be on your toes, because as a slip fielder you need to move. And we saw some of the guys needing to catch inside right, inside left. If you're on your heels, you can't go anywhere, you're stuck. So you want to be nice on your toes, hands on knees, nice relaxed arms. And generally for me, you decide, are you going to watch the ball out of the bowler's hand, or are you going to watch the edge of the bat? And I watched the edge of the bat. That was my technique, so I just focus directly on the edge of the bat throughout the day. Nice relaxed arms, and just allow my arms as the ball's released just to fall. So your arms are nice and relaxed, soft hands, because you've got so little time to react as a slip fielder, generally based on where the pitch and where you stand, that you've got to allow your body and your hands to be nice and soft to move to be able to take the catch.
Interesting point that you watch the bat at first slip, because the sort of thing you're taught as a kid is you watch the ball if you're at first slip, and the squarer you get, the more likely you are to watch the bat.
Yeah, Graham spent a lot of time at number one. I sort of drifted around the slip cordon, and when I was at one, I watched the ball. I loved it because I felt like I could follow the whole path. As I went to two or wider, that was when I went and looked at the bat. And the only difference I would say to Graham is I was very similar. The only thing is I had a trigger movement, so as the ball was bowled, I just rocked onto my front toes. So I would have my weight on my heels, and as the ball was bowled, I'd rock onto the toes. So it'd be like my trigger movement, like a batsman.
And I think that's a very important thing. We saw Hashim Amla drop one in Pretoria at first slip. He was quite deep, and the catch dipped on him, but because his weight was back, he couldn't almost get to the ball in front of him. So you always want to be on your toes, your head slightly forward so that you can move. Head's always in line with the catch. I mean, your head's here, it's very, very little time you're going to take the catch if your head's not in line.
I'll just pick something Graham did there, maybe unknowingly. We'll just have a look then. Here's Hashim Amla. Now, he didn't do what Graham just did. A tiny little bit of footwork that makes a difference. When you went to your right, you just opened your right foot. When you go to your left, you just opened your left foot. And that makes it so much easier for you to move fluently.
The other thing about slip catching is having trust in your partners. Your keeper generally sets the standard. So I know, okay, I've got a relationship with that keeper. Quinton de Kock, for example, very good to his right. He takes magnificent catches diving to his right. So as a first slip fielder, depending on the angle of the bowler, I could come a touch wider. I knew Callis could dive to his left very well, so I pushed him away. So you have those relationships with your slip fielders, and that's important as well.
Just touch on that foot movement. It's the same when you're batting, isn't it? If you lock yourself in that position, it's very difficult to get forward and back. So as the ball comes, if you open your foot, all of a sudden you've got more movement because your knee can bend, and if you open your foot, you can move. So that's definitely.
Did you have a preference in the style that you like to catch? Probably fingers up, fingers down?
Let's hit a few. Kev, if you can hit a few, we'll just show some examples, and then you can talk about that, Graham, as we go along.
Oh, pants!
We've got spare underwear here.
Yeah, I used to prefer to catch it as much as possible, finger down.
I got used to catching Kevin a lot, Mark. It was a very easy thing to do.
And when it's higher, that's when you go the fingers up. And I think the lesson for the kids is this is the hard part of your hands. You don't want to catch anything over there. So if you're catching it here on that angle, it's going to hit and bounce out. So as much as possible, you want to be there so it hits the soft part, the middle of the hands. And then same thing as once it goes above chest high, you want to go from there around there. So it keeps hitting the soft part of your hands, almost like a baseball mitt. You want it to go in there and stick soft rather than hit the hard parts of the what do they call it? The chicken drumstick of the hand.
Have a few more, Kev. We just want to see how soft they're taking the ball. That's the other thing I think is worth focusing on, how much give you have, how you ride see, each time they take a catch, I'll just show you, each time these two guys take a catch, they're letting the ball come into there. Sometimes you will ride, those ones you have to ride big, don't you?
Yeah, you do, because the key too is sometimes the ball almost comes like a flying saucer, where it can come up a little bit steeper than you expect, and that's the other thing about anticipating at what height the ball is going to get you, trying to work that out easy. I'll show you another example of a catch. It's just hit at about middle. This is Faf du Plessis catches like that sometimes, which is it's like the oyster crocodile catch. Brian McMillan was a wonderful example of that, and he gets into that position and tries to take it. Yes, it works because it still hits the soft part, but that's something you've got to be comfortable with. I think the normal way would be just
right, we're going to leave